everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Diesel Punks here on Encounter Roleplay. I'm your host and your master of ceremonies and your keeper of the apocalypse, Savvy. And we're here to play Apocalypse World today. I'm very, very excited. I missed everybody so much last week, and I'm glad to be back. We have everyone here. We're back. We're better than ever, and today is going to be a lot of fun. If you're here with us live, thank you so much. So excited that you're here. Love you. If you are here with us later in the future sometime on YouTube, also love you. Very glad you're here. You can do a lot of things to influence this show, which I will talk about very briefly. Mentioned them earlier, talk about them now. Make sure we've got in chat lots of different little links you can click on there that you retweet the live tweet for this show, so we can start handing out some fun stuff. At 20 retweets, we'll hand out an auto success to one of our players. At 30, an auto fail, which has been very fun for me in the past. 40, back to a success, and on and on forever until this episode ends. So retweet that. You can also donate to the channel to influence the game. We've got crits, we've got fails, we've got pets. We've already got 2 pets. Yeah, so if you're angling for a third, you can hit that donate link. And then at every 5 subs for the channel, we will have a psychic maelstrom surge. The poisons will whisper to someone or give them weird hallucinations, or sometimes just hurt them very badly. This has happened on occasion. So yeah, lots of things that you guys out there live in the chat can do to hang out with us and influence our world in your own little way. Let me see here. I'm going to pull up my list here because I'd be remiss if I didn't remind you about our wonderful sponsors that we have this season here on Encounter Roleplay. First, we have Mage Hand Press. We've talked about their Kickstarter so much for their Dark Matter starter kit. We actually played an adventure from that kit called Conspiracy in the Stars. Here, you can find that on the Encounter Roleplay YouTube channel. Watch the whole thing. It's totally worth it. It's great. And while you're there, subscribe to the YouTube. We've also got Helmgast and their modern horror tabletop game Cult, Divinity Lost. You can see that here on the channel as well. Wednesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Very spooky. Very fun to watch as well. We have Modifius, who create and publish a large, wide range of RPGs. They've got Star Trek Adventures. They've got Tales from the Loop. They've got Dishonored. It's very, very exciting. You can also see Star Trek Adventures here on the channel. Thursdays, 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Very good and entertaining show as well. And then finally, World Anvil, where you out there in the audience can find additional information on several of the shows that are featured on the channel here this season. It's great for writers, it's great for world builders, it's great for GMs, it's great for players, and it's great for you. So if you want some extra info on some of our shows, check that out as well. I mentioned subs before because we have our sub goal, but also it's September here on Twitch, which is very exciting. So in addition to our sub goals, have every sub this month will get to gift a free crit to a player of their choice during the show that they're watching. So that's very exciting. Hopefully crits will abound. So if you've been looking for a good time to sub to the channel, now's a great time. I mean, it's always a good time, and now's an especially good time to do it. Yeah, and then finally, if you're live with us and you see a moment that you really, really enjoy, make a clip of it, because we do Clip of the Week. And this week, that clip could be yours. So clip it, post it in the chat, post it in the Discord, which is linked in the chat as well. You can join there, post your clips. If you're with us on YouTube, leave us a comment about something that you liked, and maybe you'll be the comment of the week. Yeah, we got a lot of exciting stuff going on. Very busy, very exciting. But I'm going to stop talking for a moment and let my wonderful cast here introduce themselves, tell you who they are, where you can find them on the internet when they're not here with me, and who they're playing today. So I'll start with Rob, and then go around, wait for it, counterclockwise.
Hey,
Always
I was gonna make a time travel joke, and then I realized that was our other apocalypse show. So now I don't know what to do. Hi, I'm Rob, or bonus stage Rob, or bonus_stage_Rob, and I will be playing Liv the Hardholder. She rough, she tough, and she is most importantly buff.
That is incredibly accurate, and it rhymes, so it's even better. I'm Lydia, I'm half-Earth Hermit, and I'm playing Mercury, your local brainer, totally not a copy of Borderlands Sirens, because that's who I always wanted to be when I grew up. So I'm not growing up, I'm just playing, roleplay games on the internet and live vicariously through my characters. And I'm a very nice person who is totally not slightly freaky and weird. Ignore the chuckles of the rest of the cast, please.
Greybeard's Tavern, and I tonight will be playing Moriai, the Faceless. I guess if we're going Borderlands, I'm the psycho. Psycho in love. Alright, that's me, GB.
I'm Marlo. You can find me anywhere you want to find me on Marlo Bogwitch. I think Twitter's probably the only place where you can find me. Whatever. Find me there. I'm playing the Hocus, Sedona. She is a real creepy, real weird cult leader who is kind of lightly based on Southern evangelicals. So, yeah. It's a good time, if that's your thing.
I'm sure it's somebody's thing. And yeah, you know who I am. I'm Savvy, @SavvySeaworth on Twitter. That's where I post about all the things that I'm doing. But today, you know where I am, because you're here hanging out with us. And let's get this game going. So the first thing we do every time is we're going to highlight everyone's stats. So let me look at them character sheets. And let's start with Liv. Who has the highest history on your sheet, Liv?
That would be the friend I missed the most last session, Sedona.
All right, so I'll have Sedona highlight one of your stats, and I will highlight one of your stats.
So, I'm gonna give you cool.
Don't mind me just whacking the mic.
I'm gonna give you sharp.
Ooh,
Leave.
Sharp and cool and sharp.
Yeah, let's get Mercury. Who has the highest history on your sheet?
That would also be Sedona.
Yes. I'm gonna give you weird. I'm feeling generous today.
I'm gonna give you hot for today. Okay, let's get Moriai.
I've got the tie situation between Liv and Sedona, both at 2.
Okay. Well, you will each pick one then.
I'm gonna say hard for sure.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say cool.
All right. Thank you, man.
Okay. And Sedona.
I have a tie as well. I'm Moriai and Liv.
Okay. Wow.
Look at us. Hot.
Oh, and I can't remember if the hocus is cool or weird. Let's go
Weird, definitely weird.
weird. Let's go weird.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so hot and weird for Sedona. Easy peasy. Mark that one off the list. Okay. Then we will have everybody spend either 1 or 2 barter on your lifestyle. 1 if you want to keep going the way you're going. 2 if you want something a little extra, and if you have something in mind that you would like, let me know. Anybody want to do 2?
Always forget to think about it, so I'm gonna write a note. For next time, I will think about it.
All right, so we'll hit that. If anybody thinks of anything they want to spend an extra barter on, let me know. And Liv, you got your hard holder move, which incredible. Big high number. Is this the first time you fully succeeded?
The first time
On
I
it?
fully succeeded this roll. Let
So-
me tell you, Savvy.
So what happens when you roll a full success, like a big 13?
I just get surplus. No
Nice.
want. So I suppose by the way we've been playing, the want from last session is gone.
Yeah.
And
We
I
will
am-
see how that comes about.
Oh no. I'm gonna say that I get access to the insight peripheral move. See page 161 for details. I'm gonna crack open.
It is
the
also
book and see what that
it is
means.
in the Roll20 game as well.
I'm gonna see roll 20 for details, as I said.
Under
Mm.
peripheral moves.
I
So the
found it,
insight
yep.
move, what we
Thank
have,
you.
we have not actually used yet, but it is when you go to someone for insight, you can ask them what course of action they think you should take. I'll tell you,
Yep.
and then you get +1 if you do what they say, essentially. So that's an excellent move. Love it.
If
Love it.
it's-
Well, that was
yeah,
easy.
I need direction.
Please help me. Okay, well, that was super easy. So let us get back into it with a little bit of a recap and a little bit of fun music. Last time on Diesel Punks, things, from my perspective at least, got intense. In the aftermath of Prosperity's attack on the assembly line, the Remnants set about making a plan to get their angel, Dr. Dwight, back. When talking to her didn't work on account of how much she hates Liv, this wonderful group of fine, upstanding folk attempted to sabotage Pinnacle's generators in the dead of night instead. You were successfully able to do so thanks to a lot of hard work by your friend Jeremy and his teeth and his acid spit, but they were unable to get away without being seen and had a horde of sort of monstrous, twisted, strangely glowing humans? They're zombies. To escape. But they escaped. They made it back to the assembly line, mostly unscathed. New bird friend in tow. Cybernetic penguin. Named Nepalion. After the one book Moriah has seen, and they waited for Prosperity's retaliation, and they waited for a couple of days, and the attack never came. But Liv soon realized that they had received no communication from their radio station in quite a while. Sent out scouts. Scouts reported back that Pinnacle had indeed sent some of their people to the station to take it over, and there was a strange green light or a glow coming from the top floor. Seizing this opportunity, because Pinnacle had some of their guard missing, and now they knew that because they were at the radio station, the team was going to set out with a gang in tow to hit them hard, hit them fast, and get Dr. Dwight back. But before they could leave, the poisons surged several times in a row. to a degree that I think you all have never seen before, and some of the ill citizens of the assembly line began acting strangely, went feral, started attacking each other in the streets, and had to be rounded up and locked in what I'm calling the brig, which is just a large shipping container with a lock on the front, until they could be dealt with. And that is where we are going to pick up today. Is in the aftermath of this. You all were getting ready to head back to Pinnacle. Is there anything you want to do now that the I'm just gonna call them zombies, now that the zombies have been temporarily dealt with, have been temporarily locked up? I think we did most of your preparation last time.
I think we did pretty much all of that.
Yeah, and I think
Okay.
we already checked on Sedona, right? And she was not zombified, but
Yeah.
not conscious. I
Yeah.
might go check on her again, just for no reason in particular.
No, that's a good idea. So you go check on Sedona right before you leave. Sedona, you are currently in the infirmary. You've been recovering the last couple of days from your infected stab wound. But you have woken up just a few minutes ago. Fever broken. Pain mostly subsided, swelling gone down, and you feel okay. So you're in the infirmary, sort of being tended to, being checked over by whoever happens to be there at the moment. Liv comes in.
Oh, look who woke up.
My word, if it isn't Liv. As I live and breathe, and I do live and breathe, Liv. I do.
Yeah, well, I can't say that for the people I just dealt with. I'm not sure what I was looking at, and Sedona, you know this weird shit is way beyond me. I don't hear the voices you're dealing with. I don't hear the voices Mercury's dealing with, and whoever this asshole who thinks she can lay claim to the entire waste is dealing with. I hate this, but I feel like I gotta ask you to take point on this. You understand this more than I do.
So, I understand. I heard someone talking about it as I was getting up, and so these folks fighting each other in the street.
Yeah, they're infected with some sort of thing related to the poisons. There were surges left and right, and I mean, I don't even know what to call them, because they ain't human. They look like the citizens, but I don't know. I'm afraid the infection's gonna spread if we're not quick about quarantining them. I don't know.
So, I can try talking to them, but I don't know how well it'll work on people who are, poisoned out.
Well, I mean, you work with the poison, right? I mean, you hear whatever there is to hear in it.
I would say I work with the poison, but I think the poison works with me.
Either way, two of you work together, do something. I don't know. I just need answers. This is snowballing real fucking fast.
Yeah. Well, let me talk with Mercury and see if she's got an idea. Like I said, I don't know if I can talk people out of stuff. I can talk people into stuff. But with them being taken over by the poison, I just don't know. It's worth a shot, I suppose.
Yeah. I got a bunch of them locked in a cargo crate, if you want to take a look. Just don't get too close. I mean, we almost lost you and she looks at whoever happens to be tending to him. You fucking repeat this and I'll kill you. I know where you sleep. I need you right now.
Oh, Liv. I've been
All
waiting
right,
the whole time I've known
don't-
you for you to tell me that.
Oh god, I shouldn't have said it. Oh, I already hate this. I already hate this. It's a headache. I got a headache. She just reaches for like a bottle of like something like ibuprofen or whatever nearby. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
I get up and kind of hobble over to Liv and still kind of, you know, I can stand up, but you know how when you've got an injury and you're still favoring it because you're still afraid of it, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So hobble over there and look up at her even more so than usual. I will do whatever it takes to take care of this for you, Liv. I promise.
All right. Let's get to it then.
All right.
All right, you get to it. So you want to take Sedona over to the this shipping container where you have locked up a few of your or feral citizens, where you sort of grouped them in last time. I think I said there's like 5 of them in there. I'm trying to find it. I'm just gonna say that. I don't want to go looking through a bunch of stuff. So yeah, there's about 5 of them in there. The 2 guards that you left at the door still there, doing their best. You can hear some kind of low growling and the occasional like scraping at the door, but they're currently unable to get out. They look a little freaked out, but they're doing okay. What would you like to do?
So they're inside a shipping container. That's what...
Yeah, it's I want to say it was like was it a tractor trailer or was it a shipping container?
I don't think we really detailed it too much, so
Okay. So I
whichever you
imagine
think
it was
you'd
like
have.
like a truck, I think. Oh no, wait, yeah, it was a shipping container. We're an assembly plant. Yeah, duh, parts.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we would try to safely open one of the doors a crack.
Okay.
Not enough for somebody to reach a hand out of and claw if we can help it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So the 2 guards kind of step to the side a little bit. You unlock the chains on the door and open the door just enough to be able to look in. And much like the mystery gang, sort of heads stacked on top of each other, you peek through into the container. And Liv, you saw this before. It's more prominent now that they are sort of in this darkened space. And Sedona, you see for the first time these people that you recognize, the people that sort of live here and that you've seen around in the streets and everything, sort of ambling about, occasionally kind of throwing hands up on the wall, kind of scratching at it, but you can see this like green glow coming from their eyes as you open the door, and a couple of them sort of turn to look at you.
I don't know if this is gonna work, but it's worth a shot. And I like adjust myself and look inside at him. Now, friends, I see you are quite incensed with the poison. It would behoove you to go home and go back about your normal lives in just the way that you always did. Let this poison wear off, and when it's done, come out and be back a part of society. Yes, that's the thing to do. And so I'm using my frenzy move.
Okay.
So it gives
does that
me,
do?
allows me the ability to speak the truth to a mob, I roll plus weird, and then on a 10 plus, I get to hold 3, 7 to 9, 1, and I can make them do any number of things. So I would just ask them to go quietly back to their lives. That's what I want to make them do.
Okay, yeah. I would say this is a mob. Yes, go ahead and roll plus weird.
So can I use one of my crits on this?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yay! So if it will succeed, hopefully.
Yeah, so you use one of your crits. That will be an yeah, thanks, chat. That will be an auto success for you. So we treat it as if you rolled a 12. So yes, you roll a 12. So you can spend your hold 1 for 1 to make them do things. So you're just telling them to chill out and go home.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I love it. I love everything about it. So yeah, you sort of watch as Sedona just very confidently through this door essentially tells these people who have gone feral due to this massive surge of poisons to chill, let it run its course, and go home, and everything will be fine. And you see as she does this, they all just very slowly kind of turn their heads and just stare at her, and they just stop moving. They stop shambling around, they stop sort of scratching at the walls, and they just kind of look at her for a moment, and you can see very briefly in Sedona's eyes this brief flash of like the same sort of green color of the poisons and of these creatures, and then you see all of their eyes kind of flare for a moment and then settle as the glow in them starts to fade.
Well, that worked.
Yeah, I'll say. What the fuck?
What?
I mean, poisons be praised?
I've always had a gift of telling people what to do. My daddy called it bossy, but always worked a little bit better than just being bossy.
Bossy's something that numbnuts fucks just say to women they're terrified of.
I think you're right, Liv. I like you a lot, Liv. I just want you to know that.
Just don't do any of that mind bullshit on me.
Oh, I would never. And she kind of like looks at the ground and looks back up.
My insight move, please. No. So by all accounts, these people just look totally normal.
Yeah, they stand there for a moment, and as you start to, as you and Sedona are having this conversation, you start to talk. I think you hear one of them from the inside. They look confused and disoriented as like a little bit of the sunlight is kind of streaming into the container, and you hear a voice of one of them from inside go, "Liv? What are we doing in here?"
So y'all don't remember going fucking nuts before and trying to eat me?
No. What?
Alright, good. I didn't want to kill you. Yeah, just some weird poison shit. We got it under control. Sedona's, working her magic. Listen, you should probably get checked out at the infirmary. Just make sure everything's hunky-dory, and then, just stay safe, alright?
They nod, and you let them out?
Yeah.
Okay. You let them out. They're a little banged up, a little scraped up. None of the too worse for wear, a little dirty, but they look normal. And kind of usher them off to the infirmary for them to get checked out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think as they pass, Sedona's gonna give each one a pat on the shoulder and say, "The gods are with you, family. Should be glad I was here, or Liv would have had to have killed you."
I didn't want to.
Look a little terrified.
I'm not trying to. We didn't know what was going on.
Right. They leave a little faster.
Well, all right. I mean, kind of afraid to ask this question, but can you reverse that? Like, can you make that?
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's how I escaped the second biker gang I was trapped by. It was pretty intense. They made the mistake of getting me up in front of them. They were gonna kill me, they thought. That didn't work.
That is fucking terrifying. Also useful, but it means that we're dealing with a very powerful hocus.
I mean,
right.
I'm your friend. I wouldn't hurt you.
Oh, I know you.
Oh, are you talking about the other one?
Oh, yeah. I mean, no offense. I'm talking about the other one. I mean, she didn't have to be here to make that happen.
Oh,
Unless you could just, like, mind bomb Pinnacle. That would be pretty cool. Although, no, Dwight's there. That'd be stupid. Why would I say that?
You have to get me up in front of him. I've never tried to do it from far away. I should try that.
Yeah, let's hold off until we can save the doc.
Oh.
Yeah. Alright, let's go regroup with Merc and Moriai. I gotta think about how to approach this.
All right. You solve your zombie problem for the moment. You head over to where Mercury and Moriai were preparing to leave. As previously, you had got your gang together and given the order that you were going to make a run on Pinnacle. So yeah, the four of you regroup. What would you like to do?
So do you want to go in guns blazing, or do you want to be sneaky? Or do you want to talk again? Because that didn't work out last time, Liv.
Well, I mean, now that the gang's all here, we know that Sedona can at least undo and apparently redo this whole walking corpse thing. So it's looking like it's gonna have to be a battle of the minds. We gotta figure out where this other hocus hold up. And if it's in Pinnacle, where in Pinnacle? I don't know. What do you think?
What do you want this other group to do? I mean, if you want me to affect them, I can make them fight. I can make them fuck. I can make them... What do you want?
That would be fun. That last one.
It's like an orgy to save the world. That'd be...
No, just to save our hold. That's all we need. They don't need to fuck like the world depends on it.
Yeah.
They can if they want to. I'm not stopping them.
It's their prerogative.
It'd be easier to sneak past them if they were.
Are we? I thought it was funny. Are we being serious? Is this actually what our plan is? Are we?
I
Oh my
mean,
God.
there's
Moriai
a logic there. There's a logic. I mean, Moriah is right. They wouldn't pay any attention. We wouldn't have to kill anybody. And hey, they'd get to have some fun. Although, that's kind of immoral, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah, very.
incredibly. Never mind. Forget that. That's out.
Okay. Well, can you just tell them to run into walls or something? Is that more moral? I'm not the person to ask in that regard.
I can make them fight each other. I'm not sure that's much better. I can make them celebrate. They could have a party.
Yeah.
Or I can make
There
them,
you go.
let me think. I can make
I
them
can
give me all
potentially-
their stuff.
Do they have
But make
nice
them
stuff?
give us the doctor and call it even.
Hey,
I can do similar things with just like one person. I'm not as powerful. But we need to get in anyway. I mean, let's just get in. I'm
Yeah.
getting bored. I want to shoot things or cut things. Mostly cut things.
you know what's even better? I can make them join us. Fight for us.
Then I can't cut
Use
things.
their own people against them. You know?
Well, if we
All right.
take enough people from them, they'll probably get pissed. Try to fuck with us. And they can't. Because what's a hocus without her people, right?
The problem is I can only do it to the people that I'm talking to. I mean, I've never done it from far away, and I've never done it on a whole group of people who couldn't see me. So
Yeah.
it would have to be enough people that it would turn the tide, and that's the hard part.
So it sounds like we're dealing with a combination of all three ideas. Get in there, cut some people up, turn some people, get the doctor out. Ain't exactly surgery, but it
Well,
works.
what if we get in? What if we get in through that lab place where we found Apple Lion? Because that didn't seem to be so well guarded last time. What with the Zombo people there, not like through the main gate, but sneak in there. And then, just try and keep sneaky until people notice us, and then we cut them or brain them, and then we do more sneaky until we don't. And she gets distracted by a lizard at that point. And starts poking it with a stick.
I can get behind it.
I think Sedona's gotten distracted by the poking of the lizard. And so, yeah. Let's do it. Sure.
She takes the lizard and feeds it to Jeremy.
He loves it.
There you go. Good boy. Good boy.
Okay. Sounds like you got a plan. So, we're going to ride on Pinnacle. The four of you, are you taking anyone else?
Probably a small
Distraction?
gang, I would think.
Okay. All right.
Preferably not a
Um,
distraction or cannon fodder, but a small gang of sorts.
All
the
right,
mortar
so you get...
truck.
Forgot you
There you
guys
go.
have a mortar on a truck. Okay, so you get a few of your gang together, enough for a small gang. Load them up. Load up the truck with the mortar attached to the back, and head out. The drive, relatively uneventful. It is not too far to go to get to Pinnacle, so you drive over there quickly, carefully. I'm assuming you don't just drive right up to the front doors. I mean, you can.
No, probably
Let's
a similar idea as we had last time, where we kind of hole up in a blind spot and
Okay.
do a little sneak.
Okay, yeah, you park the trucks a little bit a ways in a sort of shallow crater, surrounded by dunes where they won't be able to see you. And the four of you, do you leave the gang there and head out, sort of as backup, or you want to take them with you?
I think I would have him as backup. I think the less the better. I think the four of us are all right.
Okay, so leaving the gang with the car, the four of you take off, trying to move quickly and quietly, stay out of sight of Pinnacle.
We can't really take the mortar, but Moriai takes the shells.
Okay. All right, so you take the mortar shells with you. I'm gonna, let's see. It's fairly easy for you to get close without being seen. You've done this a couple of times now, so you can get fairly close. How do you want to try to get in? Because there is only the one front gate.
All
Sorry,
looking at
one more
Liv.
time. I was reading one of my moves. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Or
No,
not.
so how do you want to try to get in? Because there's essentially sort of the one
it-
front gate, and then it's surrounded by
Yeah.
this big fence.
Yeah, is that hole in the wall still there, or did they patch that up?
It is not there any longer. It has since been repaired.
Whack. Do they have any guards outside, or is it still like they're still behind the wall?
Not currently. No, you don't see anybody out here with you.
Okay. Yeah, I think we would try a similar strategy of hopefully breaching the wall if possible, or maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Send Jeremy up the wall. Get a little recon going with our
Little
spider
steel
friend.
cutter. I can't really communicate with him, but I can just try and see if there's an angle somewhere where we could cut through the fence,
Yeah.
get through. If there's guards around, we can deal with them.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
If we see any guards, talk first, shoot second. If that doesn't work,
Oh, can I talk? Can I talk to them? Can I talk to them?
can you convince them they're on our side?
Yeah.
Sure, the more weird the merrier. I think, if anything, I've learned that this is the power to have.
And Moriai was looking at the wall for a minute, with his porcelain female face on, and he'll just say, "I can peel this like a can of those little black salty fish." Go right through it. It won't be quiet.
Well, I guess we do that and then have the weird on standby just for the inevitable response.
Mora, I totally didn't expect that. So you see him brighten up behind the mask, like, oh, okay. You fully expected
right,
to
so you're
sneak over to the clan.
All right, so you're gonna try to breach the wall.
Oh yeah. 'Cause that's the
Oh,
name of
that's
the
right. You have a
move.
move for this.
Yeah.
What do you roll for that? Hard.
Yeah.
All right, Kool-Aid man.
All right.
Let's have it.
I mainly there's no tactical advantage to this. I just want to see it.
All right, go ahead and roll
Ooh,
while you're
okay.
doing that. We did hit 20 retweets on our live tweet, so we're gonna hand out an auto success. Does everybody have one? No, we'll give it to Moriai because you currently are without. So take a crit.
Sweet. All right. I will not use it currently. I'll still go with the partial just because it's more interesting.
Okay, let's see. You get what you want, but something bad happens to you. Let's see. 1 harm, disoriented.
Oh, yeah.
Leave something behind or take something with. I'm gonna say for this, yeah, Moriai just starts peeling back these sort of layers of metal on a thin part of this wall. There is, at one point, Moriai, you feel some pain on your skin as a sort of sharp edge of the metal is kind of cut through a gap in your armor. So you are gonna take 1 harm that is gonna ignore armor. Yeah, so this kind of like that stinging sensation, like blood kind of running down your arm, but not too bad. You are able to, after a moment of this like sort of grinding and like the sound of sort of bending metal, open up a sort of narrow piece of this wall, large enough for everyone to squeeze through. All right, so you all go sort of squeezing through into the yard near Pinnacle, or sort of right around where their farmlands are. And you can see, again, the tall, about 20 stories hotel in front of you. And you want to make your way around to where you were before by the generators. So you know where that door is that leads into the lab. Okay. You all make your way around, moving quickly, quietly. You don't see anyone out here currently to watch you, so you kind of make your way, darting one by one across the yard, up next to the hotel, to this door that you know leads into some sort of old laboratory. You head inside. The door's open. You head inside, sort of closing the door behind you, and you are in, again, this sort of this room that looks like it does not get a lot of use. There is some equipment in here. There are some sort of tables and chairs that have been like pushed out of the way, some sort of turned over on top of each other, and then along one wall, Mercury, where you saw before, there is kind of this row of different sized cages, some of them with things still moving around inside, some of them with things still inside that are no longer moving around, and some of them empty. What would you like to do?
You say there's things still moving around?
Yeah, there are a few in the back, in which you can sort of see these dark, it's like dimly lit in here, like one fluorescent light that still kind of works that got left on. But you see in the back sort of these larger cages in the corner with some like shadowy figures moving around inside.
Something's moving immediately. My attention is immediately drawn to that, so Mark will kneel down in front of the cage and see if she can coax one of the creatures closer and see what it is.
Okay. You kneel down in front of the cage and start to try to get whatever this is to come towards you. It takes a moment, but then you start to hear this kind of quiet scrambling, and you see kind of peeking out of the shadows, sort of down, crouching on all fours, looking at you, two green pinpoints of light for eyes. This small, sort of odd, vaguely human-looking thing. Its skin is sort of gray and like gnarled. It looks like it's dried out and all kind of twisted up.
Try and read this person.
Okay.
I have a casual brain receptivity, so I'm using weird.
Read a person here. Okay. Yeah, so for read a person, you can ask one question.
I'm just opening the moves.
Mhm.
There we go. What does this person wish I would do?
You reach out into the mind of this person, and it is total chaos in there. You start sort of parsing through their feelings and these images that you're getting. It desperately wants out of this cage.
Can you talk?
It just sort of cocks its head at you and squints, like it vaguely understands you but doesn't say anything.
It really wants out.
Was it gonna hurt us?
Maybe. You said you undid the thing? The other... It's a bit further gone, I'm assuming, than the 5 people in our storage container were the last time, right? That was just the beginning stages. Or was it looking exactly the same?
No, yeah, the this one looks way worse off. The people that you that Sedona dealt with back at the assembly line, it had only been like that for maybe like an hour or so. All told, so they looked like themselves. They just had sort of the glowing eyes, but this one is all sort of funky, and its hair is gone, and its skin is all sort of like dried up, and it looks like almost like it's got like burn patches. Yeah, it's much worse.
I just want to know what it would do if we let it out. If it tried to attack us, or if it wanted to, I don't know, get back at someone.
Do you suppose it could lead us to who did this?
I can't talk to it, that's the problem. I tried. It's
Yeah.
very jumbled in there. Can you do anything, Sedona? Can you ask your gods?
I can try to talk to it. I don't know. Usually it's more people. I usually need an audience.
Alright.
Well, all right, we're your audience. Sell us on the gods.
Well, you don't want me to convince you to do something, do you? I mean, all I can really do is convince
probably
somebody to do something. I guess I can try to talk to it. I really don't know, because the frenzy move is a mob. It has to be a mob.
Right. You can try to talk to it and manipulate someone.
Yeah, I guess I can do that. So I walk over to the cage and look at it and say, "Friend, who hurt you?" Let me roll.
Yeah, this one is going to be plus hot.
So I have a I took the charismatic thing when I leveled up, So I can,
Mhm.
if I roll to manipulate someone, I can use weird instead of hot.
Perfect. Roll plus weird.
Ooh.
Right. What do we got?
A partial.
Not for me. There it is. All right. A 7. All right. So they will go along with you, but they need some concrete assurance, corroboration, or evidence first. So I think you start to speak to this thing, and it does the same thing it sort of did with Mercury, where it cocks its head and it looks at you very intently, like it is trying to listen, like it might be at least getting the gist of what you're saying, but you can see its eyes kind of narrow, like it's unsure.
What if I told you we could get you in touch with the person who did this to you?
You say this, and they move a little closer to the door and just kind of put one hand on the bars.
Who was it?
They look at you, the eyes still sort of narrowed, and then just look straight up toward the ceiling.
Prosperity? Or that prophet?
It growls a little bit.
The prophet? Huh. Well, go ahead. Sorry.
I think Mercury would sort of try and peek out behind Sedona at this point. Oh, we're here to kill her. Do you want to kill her with us?
I think you hear it sort of make this like growling sound again.
I think that's good enough for Mercury. She'll open the cage. New friends.
Okay.
Yeah, as Mercury's opening the cage, Liv will kind of walk over to Sedona and be like, "The paparazzi's here. I'm getting taken pictures of." She'll go over to Sedona and just ask, "You think? I mean, do you need to control this thing, or do you think it's cool if it comes with us? You think it'll be able to lead us to her?"
Well, it's just one, so I reckon we can take it out. But one more on our side would be helpful.
Yeah. Hey,
Meanwhile,
so...
Mercury's kind of like, so
Oh,
what's your
yeah.
favorite color? I'm Mercury. What's your name? Do you have a name? Can you talk? If you don't have a name, we can give you a name, but only if you want us to give us a name. We can call you Sapphire. Because of that one little blue tuft of hair that you have in a weird... Why is there... Can I touch it?
At this point, Mercury has opened the cage, and this thing is sort of scrambled out, and is kind of looking around at all of you. And as you ask if you can touch it, I don't know that it's following everything you're saying, but you sort of reach out towards it a little bit, and it kind of startles and like scampers back a little bit. Just kind of looks at you.
Sorry,
So assuming
that was
I'm
maybe too much.
assuming I'm doing this right, does going to someone for insight involve what I just asked Sedona?
I would say so, yes. And
MC, what do you think about what I asked Sedona? Oh, voice of God in the sky.
yeah, what's the specific question that you want answered?
Basically, is it a good idea for us to take this thing with us in the hopes that it's not going to be turned, like, I'm hoping that it'll be so furious when it sees the prophet that it'll kind of stay with our side.
That's definitely a possibility. I don't know that I can tell you if this is a good idea either way. I
All
can tell
right.
you that I think you notice, and you all notice this, I think, Liv, you probably put two and two together first, that Mercury had sort of said when she reached out to read its brain. It's all very sort of chaotic and jumbled in there. But when you got to the point of trying to convince it to come with you and it started realizing what was going on, and when you sort of mentioned the prophet, there was like a moment of clarity there where it was trying to communicate with you. So
All right.
and it didn't just immediately try to rip your throats out. So
We in pursuit of having this thing with us, we get +1 to rolls when we're trying to use it as our Scooby to sniff out the prophet.
that you
Nice.
do. All right, so the 5 of you now with your new friend start to make your way, I assume, into the rest of the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so you make your way toward the other door on the other side of this room, a sort of a set of large metal double doors. You go to open them, and you can see sort of wrapped around the handles as you push out, sort of on the other side, they're chained shut.
Oh, yeah. Something's closed off.
Can't keep us out. You'll boot it.
I don't know that you have to roll for this because I don't know if it's super interesting if you fail, but you take a boot to the door a couple of times. The chains are pretty old and kind of thin, so you hear after a couple of times this just sort of metal snapping sound, and the doors just fly open, smashing into the wall, and you are inside a part of this hotel. What you are looking at is actually what looks to be an old casino. So lots of old machines around, several card tables. It looks like it has not been in use for a while, so everything's sort of dark and dusty. But yeah, big roulette wheel in the center. And then a set of glass doors that go like out into the hotel.
This tracks.
Where is Sapphire going?
Sapphire sort of comes out into the room, and you can see their eyes are sort of tracking kind of all over the place, moving very quickly, darting back and forth, and they start to head toward the opposite side of the room where you can see these two like double glass doors that lead out, from what you can tell, into the lobby of the hotel.
Its nose sniffs retribution. We should follow.
All right, so you start
Be careful
following
there.
Sapphire.
There will
Sorry?
probably be people around now. I'm sure she left someone behind, even if they went to the station. If she's not here herself. I will find out.
All right. You start to follow Sapphire across the casino floor. You make your way over to those glass doors. Again, relatively easy. They're chained shut from the other side. These ones is made of glass. You just kind of put a boot through and make your way into the hotel lobby. This part of the building is much cleaner and seems to be in use, unlike the part that you came in through. There is a large set of stairs sort of going up and kind of winding in a square, sort of up to the different hotel floors. And then on one side, there's also an old elevator. But there's nobody in here.
All right, well, as nice as this has been, what gives? I mean, I can't be the only person that expected some sort of resistance, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Fishy.
Either they're completely moving over into the radio station and everyone's gone, or they're holding up maybe at the top. She must be at the top, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm assuming the elevator does not work at this point.
The buttons are lit up.
Ooh, I'm pressing all of them.
Okay. You press the button on the outside for the elevator to open up. Head into the elevator. You can see the 20 floor buttons. Next to some of the buttons, there are sort of little symbols that have been painted next to them. Press all the buttons, and is everyone getting in the elevator? Okay. Mercury presses all 20 of the buttons, and the doors close in front of you, and the elevator, sort of grinding to life, starts to head up. Floor by floor. The doors stopping on a floor, opening. Again, it looks like you can see the first couple floors, there's no one on them, but you can see sort of this very well kept, sort of retro looking hotel. Lots of rooms, the numbers kind of painted on the door in this like gold paint, and then the doors will close, go up to the next floor. You do this for several floors until you get to floor 13. As you are standing in, is there anything you would like to do while you're standing in the elevator going up 13 floors?
As every door,
one by one,
every door opens, that elevator music is going, and Moriai's just standing there with his, this massive sword, like, crosses the elevator, and he's standing at the back of everyone else. And every time the doors open, he flexes up like he's gonna jump out and murder everyone. And then there's nothing, and he relaxes, and he flexes up, and he relaxes. But other than that, that's all he does.
Okay. Yeah, so Moriai, ready for a fight. 12 floors of this, nothing happens. And you relax back. While you're standing there, who's standing next to the buttons? Probably Mercury. You pressed them all. Yeah, you probably, I would assume, getting a little bored being stuck in the elevator. Start to look toward the numbers, and some of them have these little like symbols painted on next to them. Next to floor number 13, you can see it looks like there's been a couple of symbols there and they've been scratched off, and a new one has been painted in a fresh red paint, just like a red cross.
Oh, that's the symbol that our doctor has on all his things. Look.
Wait.
Point it out to the others.
Hit that one. Did we pass that one?
I think we're about to get
Not
to that
yet.
one.
Yeah, you still got a couple to go. So you go up a few more floors, you hit the 13th floor, and the door opens in front of you. You see a hallway that looks a little different than the other ones. It looks like a lot of stuff has been sort of cleared out of here. There are several places where it looks like there used to be, on one side, rooms where the walls have been sort of taken down and then replaced. So there's a long swath with just no doors on one side. And you can see sort of down at the end, a single door sort of leading into that area of the hotel. You also see several figures at the end of the hall moving around.
Is this similar to what I've seen in my dream or vision, what it was? What looked like a greenhouse situation?
No, this looks a little different.
Okay. There's people here.
Alright, well, at least one of them is hopefully the person that we want to come with us, but I guess we gotta be on our guard and Sedona get ready to change some hearts, huh?
I'm always ready.
All right, and as you say, you're always ready. The elevator doors shut behind you. As you step out, the elevator dings as it heads off without you to its next destination. And this group at the end of the hall, you can see stops and sort of turns toward you, and you can see coming off of them again this like faint like green glow as they start to charge down the hallway in your direction. Very quickly, some of them on 2 feet, some of them on all fours, and you hear this sort of like growling and snarling as they charge towards you. What would you like to do?
How many are there?
From where you are, it looks like there's about 6 of them.
Okay. I'm gonna hold my hand up in the air and say, friends, you don't have to do this. You can join us. And we can take care of the person who did this to you. Try rolling on that.
Okay.
Partial.
All right. What do you get on a? Yeah. What do you get on a partial?
I can on a 7 to 9. I can hold one and do one of the following.
Okay. What would you like to do?
I'm going to unite them and fight for me as a gang.
Okay. Great. You raise your hand and you call out to this group to join you and fight for you. And it takes a moment to take effect. So you see them still, the rest of you see them sort of still charging at you, growling and sort of snarling, this glow becoming brighter and brighter. And Sedona just standing there very confidently, hand raised. And they get to you and you see a few of them kind of skid to a stop. And then they just kind of scamper back a little bit, sort of eyes narrowed, not 100% sure. And then again, you see their eyes, the flare in their eyes sort of flash this bright green for a moment and then settle. It doesn't go away like it did before, but they do all sort of stop in their tracks and kind of sit back or stand back, all just kind of like staring at Sedona.
Are these your friends, Sapphire?
Sapphire kind of moves up next to you, kind of looking around at them. Doesn't do anything necessarily, doesn't move to like attack or anything, just kind of watches what they're doing.
Well, we made some new friends.
Do we all fit in the elevator now?
Oh.
Still looking for the doctor, right?
Yeah. Do you guys know where the doctor is? Oh, you don't understand me.
Liv will,
And they just kind of watch you.
once everything's calmed down, Liv will just start looking around and opening doors and looking around and just, yo, Dwight, where the hell are you?
Okay. Wow, good job not having to fight any of those things. I didn't even have to put the exciting music on. That's great. You start looking around on one side, there are still several hotel room doors. Most of them are locked. You can pull at them. And on the other side, it looks like, again, a lot of the walls and the doors have been sort of knocked out and then replaced by these kind of like makeshift walls. And then down at the end of the hall, there is one door that has been left and painted on it. It's like the room number has been taken off of it, and then painted on it is this large red cross. So you make your way down there, I'm assuming, calling out for Dwight. You open the door, and what you see inside, you're sort of at the end of the room, and you can turn to your right and see just this long room where it looks like a lot of these rooms have had their walls knocked out, and they've all been sort of put together into this one sort of long room. It's well lit, sort of along the sides of the room. There are these long tables. You can see some medical equipment kind of farther down, and then down at the end, it looks like the room is still kind of under construction. And about halfway down, sitting in a rolling, sitting on like a rolling stool, wearing a familiar white coat, you see turning around to face you, looking surprised, but no, not really any worse for wear, Dr. Dwight.
Well, hey, buddy.
Oh, thank God.
What gives? What happened? Didn't put up a fight?
What took you so long?
You have no idea what we've been through, but I'm just glad you're not, right? You came here against your will. I don't have to knock any sense into you.
No, yeah, I thought I'd just take a little vacation, be held hostage in an infirmary I don't work in that's being guarded by fucking zombies, I think. Yeah.
Don't call them that. They don't like that. They're our friends now.
Yeah, well, we managed to turn them. Well, Sedona managed to turn them, and Merc has been playing ambassador. It's been actually strangely wholesome, if not horrifying. But point being, let's not mince words. We got to get you the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Let me get my stuff. And he sort of stands up, kind of moving over his large frame, just kind of scooping up all of his things into a couple of bags. He throws them over his shoulder, and ready to go.
All right, we
Now,
got
Doc,
a few.
before we get going, I got this weird mole I want you to look at. Oh wait, is that the wrong time to do that?
Yeah, Sedona, it might be. Let's shelve that for now. We got a couple guys downstairs.
Do you know where the boss lady went? Pinnacle? There's Prosperity. This is very empty today.
I don't know. There's been a lot of commotion, I would call it, the last couple of days. She was just in here a couple hours ago, though, so...
Should we go kill her? We promised our new friends we'd go kill her.
Yeah, I was hoping to get him to safety, and then just put the kibosh on this whole freaking thing. I'm so done with this bitch. So, we got a couple folks downstairs. I can radio them and have them meet downstairs, throw you in the vehicle, and we'll just take care of the rest.
Yeah, I would love to not be here anymore.
Yeah.
And killing is sort of the opposite of my deal.
Right, do no harm and all that jazz. Don't worry, we'll do all the harm we need to do. Sorry, no offense. I don't know.
Neither rain nor sleet or snow of night will keep this guy from keeping people alive. And he pokes him.
Exactly.
Poetic. And she's gonna grab her radio and just contact the small gang of friends that we got down the way.
Okay. Your small gang of violent bastards.
Small gang of violent bastards.
You radio down to them. They get ready to meet you, to sort of hand off Dr. Dwight to them. Relatively easy. Yeah. Do you wait for the elevator to come back, or do you take the stairs?
What floor?
Because it's got to go all the way up. You're on 13. It's got to go all the way up to 21 by 1.
I like the elevator. It's good music.
God, I wish I had elevator music.
I don't want to stop her, but I also want to stop her.
Oh, don't you worry. Mercury will sing this bloody song for the rest of her life.
No, that's not the issue. I don't want to hit all the buttons again. I feel like we'll get away.
I'll only press the buttons up. We're not going back down again.
Once we kill this bitch, you can press all the buttons you want.
Yay.
All right, you wait for the elevator to come back, load up. Now, there are quite a lot of you right now. There are the 4 of you, Dr. Dwight, Sapphire, and 6 other creatures that are following Sedona like a pack of obedient dogs. I don't know.
I think Dr. Dwight was sent down, at least.
So you just send him down, you guys are staying here?
Yeah. When you said you radio your people to pick him up.
Yeah,
I mean, we could also
probably-
RP through the whole getting him down and then make
We're
him
not-
sit, but-
No, we're not
I
gonna do
would
that.
Yeah, I'd
Let's
probably
not.
ride down with him just to make sure he didn't get got, and then
Okay,
I'd ride back
that's
up.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you, Liv, you send, take Dr. Dwight down, fairly uneventful, send him out of the hotel, sort of across the yard through the hole in the fence, and you have a few of your folks waiting to get him in a truck and away to safety. You ride back up and meet up with your, what I now think qualifies as a small gang, on the 13th floor, and you start to make a plan for where to go next. Right here, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break to stretch a little bit and refresh. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us so far. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. We will be back in just a few short minutes, so stick around, see what happens next. And welcome back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took a quick break. We are back and better than ever, ready to go. Let us pick back up where we left off before. So, Dr. Dwight secured. You all are currently on the 13th floor of this hotel with your new friends following Sedona around specifically. What is the plan?
Well, we want to take this party all the way up to the top, I guess. Sedona, it's your call. You're the boss.
I'm the boss. Oh, this is a lot of responsibility.
Leader
Can
of
you
the
be
pack.
the boss, please? You're the boss, Liv. I'm not made cut out for this. I just sweet talk people.
Can I be the
Alright,
boss?
you're...
Mercury for boss.
Alright. I guess I'm still the boss, but you're the leader of the motley crew over here. So
That's a cool name.
That should be a band.
yeah, I saw it
name.
on a record once.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Anyway, I guess yeah, just take it all the way up to the top and be ready to unleash hell.
I can do that.
Okay. So you get ready, get everyone together. Elevator or stairs?
I promised Mercury an elevator.
Okay, I'm gonna take the elevator up. So you pile into the elevator. It's a tight fit, but again, these creatures that you now have following you, they're not big by any means. They're all sort of thin and emaciated, so you don't quite hit the weight limit. We'll just say that because Moriai counts as like 3 people. So you get in the elevator, and you go to press the button for the top floor, of which says penthouse. And you make your way up. Mercury singing along, I assume, the entire time to her favorite new elevator music. You hear the elevator ding as it makes it to the top floor. The doors open in front of you, and pointed in all of your faces are several guns held by several folks who were up here standing guard. You sent an empty elevator up. So they point these rifles at you, and the one at the front just kind of looks at you, kind of squints their eyes a little bit. You want to head back down?
No, but we came all the way up here.
Do you want to head back
Yeah, I
there?
figured we'd stay a while.
Yeah, I
We
don't think
brought
so.
friends. And I think, oh, can I do that? Fuck it, I'll do it anyway. I want to reach out to whoever, or literally jump whoever looks in charge. So the person just spoke. Try and take him to the
Okay.
ground. If I take a shot, I don't care. And as I take him to the ground, I want to make him into my puppet, and I'm going to use a crit for that.
Okay, so I am going to have you, let's see, 2 rolls involved here, 1 for the puppet, but 1 to go aggro on someone. And have you roll plus hard to see what happens when you jump this person.
Nothing good. I'm going to use my second fucking crit.
Okay, these both crits. All right, so we'll treat them both as if you had rolled a 12. So you all see Mercury just go flying out of the elevator, sort of tackling this person to the ground. They are going to sort of at this motion fire at you. So you hear Mercury sort of hit this person, a gunshot going off in the hallway. You are gonna take 2 harm from the rifle shot, but you, with this pain sort of like shooting through your side, you manage to tackle them, pin them to the ground, and then you reach out into their brain.
I reach out, I pin them on the ground with both hands on their shoulder, and I give him a huge kiss directly on the forehead. So the red lipstick is on the forehead, and you all know who it is. And with that, he's with us now. You're with us now. That is the command with the brain puppet.
Okay, he's with you now, and then you also have hold you can spend. Is that the same move?
Yeah, I can harm him or take something away from him. Yeah, take
Awesome.
-1
So,
on roll right
yeah.
now.
This sort of goes down very quickly. The gunshot sort of grazing you, planting that that lipstick on his forehead, and he just sort of stops for a moment as you implant this command into his brain, and just nods at you.
Good.
As that's happening, I want to turn to Sedona and just be like,
You said there were how
Charge.
many though? There were 3. Well, there were 3.
Did I say?
Don't
we
think you said-
guns pointed at her face.
There are 5 of them total.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna charge the guys at him rather than try to manipulate them. All right, friends. This is your cue. Go right ahead. Take these bad boys out.
Okay, so you send your new friends out after them. In the commotion, these creatures start to sort of push through you and just start to go aggro on this group. I'm going to have you... let me hit up some gang rules here. I'm going to have you roll to go aggro for what is essentially now your small gang. So that is plus hard.
Would she be able to get the +1 from using the initial sapphire to like assault the upstairs?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Dope.
That seems related.
Partial.
Okay,
These
so we
dang
got a partial
partials.
success. So let's see. They can choose 1. They are going to choose to force your hand and suck it up. So we're gonna exchange some harm here. I'm gonna give them. I'm gonna say your guys do. What do we got? Gang versus gang. So 2 harm. As this all sort of goes down, these things start to snarl and growl and start to just claw out and bite these guys. You hear gunshots start to go off in the hallway as a couple of them are sort of taken to the ground, sort of bleeding on the floor, bullet wounds kind of peppering them. But a couple of the guards as well are sort of swarmed, knocked to the ground as these creatures start to just like tear at them. A couple that are left standing turn their guns on you, Liv and Moriai, and are going to fire into the elevator. What do you do?
Fire back.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
right.
I'm joining the fight. Heck this.
okay. As more gunshots start to go off from the elevator, if you would like to, please roll hard. Do Liv
Yeah.
first?
All right. Well, I think. Can I actually like try to duck into the elevator and sort of? I guess the wording of it is dig in to endure fire.
Certainly. Let's see.
Yeah, that's under do something under fire. I don't want to just like glass cannon my way through this because I already have 3 harm
That-
or 1 harm.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, so go ahead and roll plus cool to try to
Okay.
to sort of dig in.
Yeah. Okay, it's a partial.
Okay, so you flinch, hesitate, or stall.
I think maybe I accidentally bump into one of the zombies as I'm trying to get past them. Just
Okay.
Get the fuck out of my way.
Yeah, absolutely. So you dig in. It's a little crowded still in the elevator as they are sort of like climbing through and over and trying to get out into this hallway. You sort of knock into one of them, and one of the bullets catches you in the shoulder. It'll be reduced, so you only take 1 harm from that shot as you duck around, sort of digging in the elevator. Moriai, what are you doing?
So Moriai was like just laughing maniacally as the zombie swarmed out, and then Mercury just like leaps on this guy and smooches him on the ground. But then he sees she's bleeding, and we focus in on just the eye slits, and we see his eyes just, samurai up, and he just leaps forward, and anything that's not the guy who she puppeted, he's like using one to bash another with or step on them and just kind of maul them to pieces, or going to try anyway.
All right, let's go aggro on someone.
And pop a 9. Yeah, he's totally ignoring the gunshots coming at him. He's
okay.
got that
Yeah, so they're
cracked red
gonna
eye you would see in a cartoon.
yeah, they're gonna force your hand. So you sort of run out into them as they begin to fire into the elevator. There's 2 of them there, 2 rifles. So you're gonna take 4 harm.
Okay.
Minus whatever your armor is. As the bullets just start to kind of pepper into your combat armor, but you go aggro on them, sort of slamming the 2 of them together, and trying your best to take them down as quickly as possible. Let's see, how much harm do you do to them? Do you have like an unarmed thing? Or do you want to take the sword to him?
We'll talk-wise, let's just say it's the sword. He's like slamming them and then spiking them through the floor with the thing.
Okay. So you sort of knock them together and then pull out the sword, which does the 3 harm to them. So yeah, you knock them together and disoriented. You just slice one right across the back, and he just immediately goes down. The other one sort of scrambling back from you, grabbing his gun. So there's like, what did I say? 1. So you've got the one that you're controlling is just sort of sitting there amidst everything, still kind of acclimating to his new puppet brain, and you've killed 3 of them. There's 1 guy left. So this one guy is sort of just like scrambling back from Moriai, trying desperately to like pull up his rifle. What do you do? Anyone?
Can I kind of use my move to go, you're with us now, and have the other guy shoot his friend just to be a dick?
Absolutely. Yeah, he just does what you say, so I don't think you have to roll for that. I'm gonna have you roll for him to go aggro. So just plus hard.
Partial success.
Okay, yeah, so they're gonna exchange harm. So he sort of nods at you, flips over, and pulls a pistol sort of off his belt and starts to fire down the hall. The other guy sort of getting his gun out, able to fire back. So they both are gonna take a couple of bullet wounds at the other guy. Unfortunately for him, fortunately for you, sort of takes a couple of shots to the chest from your new friend and falls to the hallway floor, but not before sort of winging your new friend with a rifle bullet. So he's a little hurt, a little bleeding, but still alive.
Very
And
good.
he sort of stands up and just kind of stands there next to Mercury, as the creatures that Sedona was controlling sort of rip to shreds what's left of the ones they had pinned to the floor, and in front of you is a bloody mess.
Well, useful, if not a little dirty. Our friends were helpful.
Oh,
Hell
we
yeah,
should
let's
probably,
keep this. Oh, go ahead.
We should probably kill him too at some point. Sorry. Might wear off.
Well, for the time being, it's useful. We should keep this gravy train rolling, though, in case it becomes less useful.
No, I mean literally, it wears off when he fulfills the command, and I think for the purpose of this battle, the command will be fulfilled.
It's
gonna wear off
Fine,
eventually.
I turn around and with a machete just try and cut his head off.
Okay, yeah, I think that's suckering
All right.
someone. I don't think he saw it coming. You were his best friend. And you see Mercury just very, very sort of calmly turn machete just straight across his throat. And he sort of looks a little surprised, and then falls to his knees, blood kind of cascading down his front, and just onto the floor.
Yikes.
Gotta do everything myself around here.
All right. Onward and upward.
For that second when the body's still standing there and the head lops off, Moriai pats it and then smears the blood across his ceramic white face. And then proceeds down the hall.
Very pretty.
Okay. War paint applied. So Sedona, you are down a couple of gang members. Two casualties in the midst of all that. So you've got 4 left.
Okay.
And Sapphire, I think, who was just hiding in the elevator.
And I'm right in assuming we have nobody who can heal peeps, right? None of us?
Nope.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm really
Not in the
wounded.
field.
But Moriai doesn't care because he's got that Rasputin thing, so he's like, let's do this.
Listen, man, I played an angel last time, and it did not come in
I know.
handy nearly as much as I thought it would, so...
You'll be fine. All right. So, you head off down the hallway. This is a shorter hallway. This top floor, you can see at the end of it, there is it's like sort of a T-junction where there's a wall and it sort of cuts off to the left and the right. You head down that way and you see the only 2 doors on this floor, one on each side. Take your pick.
Both?
Yeah, I think Liv will look up at Moriai. You kick left, I kick right. All right. 1, 2, 3.
All right, you both kick in a door. Oh gosh. Okay. Simultaneously, these 2 things happen. Liv. Oh, thanks for the subs, chat.
Oh, thanks, chat.
Was that Colin?
That
Thanks, Colin.
means, of course, it's Colin. And 3 other subscribers earlier this stream. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Dev. And thank you, Billy. We're going to have a little poison surge with that.
Literally could not be more perfect timing. Okay.
Great.
the two of you kick up. Who went which way?
Left, right.
That's great. Sure.
What?
I don't
That's
remember
not
what I
helping.
said 5 seconds ago.
You
I'm
were not
left.
helpful
remember what
there,
I
saying
said.
both directions.
Did I say you go left, I go right? I don't remember. I think
so.
I'm right.
That's what we're gonna do.
I don't
Moriai.
know.
Okay. It's fine. So Moriai
I
goes
literally
left.
don't remember
Liv
what happened 5 seconds ago.
Liv goes right.
I'm saying.
They both just
Thank you
went
for
left,
that.
right, left.
We did the
You
exact same thing.
you
Who
kick
says
open your
Moriarty knows
doors.
it's left from the right?
You kick open your doors simultaneously, and as you do, there is this blast of energy. You can all smell sulfur and this sort of like rotten, just smell that, well, a lot of you are really used to at this point, especially those of you that keep getting blasted right in the face with it. And you see sort of around you this haze start to fill the room, and everything goes quiet. Moriai, the room that you have entered is extremely clean and extremely odd. You see what used to be one of the penthouse suites of this hotel, now just covered in different bits and pieces and parts and mechanical things and pieces of tech and lots of sort of cobbled together machines kind of all around. And sitting in the center of this room, as you kind of look through this haze, you see a person, a young woman. She's sitting there sort of cross-legged on the floor, wearing this kind of white linen clothes, sort of shirt and pants. She has this long, sort of flowing, like white hair, and she's wearing some sort of metal contraption on her head that is hooked up to one of these machines, and she just sort of sits there with her eyes closed. And you kick open the door, and she doesn't react. And as this haze starts to sort of seep out into the hallway and surround the rest of you, Sedona and Mercury, you find yourselves moving incredibly slowly. Like you're trying to wade through something that is holding you back. So you're almost stuck in place out in this hallway. Moriai, what do you do?
So this isn't prosperity, though, right?
No, you've never seen this person
I've
before.
never seen this person before. Yeah, I guess Moriai would call out to Mercury and say, "Mercury, Sleeping Beauty in here. Princess." and just try to turn around and walk away, because this is boring and as far as he's concerned, there's nobody to fight here.
Okay. You call out and you turn to leave. The door's gone. Mercury, you don't hear him.
Yeah, he tries to through where the door was, because that's
Okay.
what he would do.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus hard.
Right. Oh, I always forget the second part. Click. 12.
Okay. Yeah, you absolutely go just busting through this wall. The rest of you hear faintly, as if it is coming from almost from a different floor, just this faintest crashing sound. Maria, you bust through the wall, and what is in front of you is the room that you left.
And I'm facing the Sleeping Beauty.
Mhm.
He just stops. It just stops. You can jump to someone else, or we can continue, but he's a simple character, so.
Yeah, no, we'll come back to you in a second. So you stop trying to wrap your head around what is happening. At the same time, this haze is filling the room. Liv, you have kicked open this other door, and in front of you is the other penthouse suite. This one, much different than the one Moriai has entered. It is this sort of lavish room, just full of shiny things and decadence. On one sort of side of it, there is this large chair that has clearly been like painted gold, like tons of pillows and stuff scattered around. It looks like Prosperity's built herself a throne. In this room, you kick the door open, but there's no one inside.
Do I get any sense that was happening behind me, the mists and whatnot?
Mm-mm.
She'll just kind of like not really paying any attention behind her, just sort of just. I found Prosperity's little throne to herself, and she'll just like say that as she's walking in and taking a look for anything. Really just looking for, I guess, any sort of. Is there any sort of like radio or whatever that she's been maintaining communication with the station, or anything to that effect?
In here, it doesn't look like it. There's not a lot of equipment or anything around. It looks like this is just mostly her living space.
Any sort of this is getting very video gamey, but any sort of like journal or terminal or whatnot?
No, not that you can see.
No lord. Shoot. Okay. Do they have toothbrushes in the apocalypse?
I imagine so.
Does she have a bathroom here?
Oh, it's a very nice bathroom.
Liv wipes her ass with the toothbrush.
Okay.
We're frat boying it.
All right. In a act of total pettiness, you replace the toothbrush.
Oh yeah.
Anything else you'd like to do in this room?
Pettiness. No, that's it.
Okay. You go to leave the room, the door's gone.
She'll turn around. All right, no What the fuck? She goes to grab her radio, realizes the crew's not there, and is like, they took the doctor. She'll go to where the door was and just sort of feel around for it.
There's nothing there, just a wall.
She'll just bang. Just, Moriai, now would be a real good time to oh yeah this bitch.
Okay, start banging. No one hears it. Mercury and Sedona out in the hallway, again, feeling very sort of sluggish and slow moving. You both start to hear the whispers that you're familiar with. Mercury, your eye starts sort of trembling a little bit, moving back and forth. Sidonia, you start to hear that sort of whining in your ear. And then at the same time, you both hear a voice familiar to you. Again, she's spoken to you a couple of times now. This sort of higher pitched voice that laughs a little bit, sort of freely. Do you like my game?
I gotta be honest with you, I don't.
It's not really much of a game if I can't move.
Your friends think they're stuck. It's funny to watch.
It's not a game.
Do you want them back?
It's just you being an ass.
Do you want them back?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay. Choose.
No.
Then I'll kill them both.
No. You can't. You're not that powerful. If you were that powerful, you'd try to take on one of us, Sedona or myself. But you're not. You're trying to get to us through them. And that's what a coward does, someone who knows that they're not that strong.
Mercury, I'm not sure you should provoke her.
I'd love to have you roll to manipulate someone right now.
Oh, I wish I kept some crits. I did not. Oh fuck, that's... Don't have a brainy move for that, I think. Nope, that's read. Okay. It's to nothing. Partial success.
Okay. Okay. She laughs a little bit again, and says, "Fine. I'm bored with you anyway. See if you can save them." And you feel the presence sort of pull away. The sort of smoke and the mist starts to clear around you, and you can both move again, and you can see down to the ends of the hallway, the doors that Moriai and Liv kicked open, still open. And from the left side, you hear this sort of crackling sound of electricity, and from the right side, you hear gunshots. Liv and Moriai, from where you are, you both kind of shake your heads as everything sort of goes foggy in front of you for a second. You shake your head, Liv. You find yourself on one side of the room, just kind of knocking against a wall. You see the door you came through, and it's open. And you also hear a gunshot as someone fires into your back. Do you have armor?
I have 1 armor.
Okay. Then minus your armor, you're going to take 3 harm.
Yikes.
Moriai, from the room that you are in, you sort of shake your head and you realize where you are, and you see the door that you came through, and you see in front of you this sort of crackling light as the girl that is sitting in the center of the room has opened her eyes, and they flare this like bright purple color, and from one of these nodes on the wall, this electricity strikes out and just strikes you right in the chest. That is going to be 2 harm, armor piercing. What do all of you do?
I run up. Can I see that? Because we're still standing in the center, you said, right? We were just frozen.
Mhm.
To the girl who is the source of the voice in the games that I don't like.
Mhm.
And was Moriai thrown back by that blast?
Yeah, I'll say you, Moriai, you sort of, because you're pretty bad off right now, sort of like stumbled back and kind of crashed into the wall behind you.
I'll fuck it. I'll try and get to her into physical contact, which I'm assuming causes the thingy as well, but I want to get through. I want to try and grab her by the throat.
Okay, you do so. I'm gonna have you roll me plus cool to do something under fire. Like this, do a different one.
Partial success.
Okay, you go charging into the room, heading over toward, excuse me, toward this girl who is sitting in the center of the room, sort of wearing this contraption on her head, and you can see this like flare from her eyes, flare brighter as she sees you coming. You charge at her and are able to reach your hands out and sort of grab her by the throat, and as you do, around her there is this just pulse of this like bright purple energy. You're able to hold on to her, but it sort of sears through you, almost like this bubble has kind of exploded around her, trapping the two of you inside. You are going to take 1 harm from that, as it sort of like
looks familiar.
burns as it passes through you.
Banana
to her.
for that gifted crit. I will need it.
Thanks, Banana.
And still having her by the throat, Mercury starts to just chuckle and laugh. And like, oh, you can play this game. And her eyes flare up as well.
Okay. We'll get to what you do to her in a second. Who else is in the room? Moriai, you are also in the room, having been sort of thrown back into the wall. There is now this sort of translucent, sort of shimmering purple, almost like a force field, like bubble, surrounding Mercury and this young woman who she has by the throat. And you also, from the other room, hear gunshots. What do you do?
I've obviously never seen Mercury do this before, right? Create a bubble like this. So.
No, you've never seen her do something like this.
All right, then, because I don't understand magic and mind powers and whatnot, I will just sort of leap across the room, sword held high, and be all like, back to sleep, princess, and try to bring the sword down through her brain box.
Okay, go ahead and roll me to go aggro. So plus hard.
Dope. 9. Yeah, I'll
Okay.
use crit.
Okay, you use your crit, so treat it as if you have rolled a 12. You run towards her, and you find yourself, as you hit this like force that is around her, this energy, you sort of run into it, and it stops you for a second. You rear back, and you go to try to push through it. You are able to push through it. You are going to take 1 harm. That's armor piercing, as this sort of burns over your skin and try to bring the sword down on top of her. And you hit her. You sort of bury the sword into her shoulder as Mercury is sort of grabbing onto her throat, her eyes sort of flaring out like you have seen them do before in moments of high stress. She doesn't flinch. You can see sort of blood starting to run down this like white shirt that she's wearing. She just kind of is locked on to Mercury. Your sword does 3 harm?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, and then you yank it out of her shoulder. The two of you now inside this bubble. On the other side of the hotel, Liv, you've just been shot in the back.
Ow. Liv, her instinct is immediately to turn around and just sucker punch whoever did it across the face.
Okay, you turn around and you just fling a fist. Go ahead and roll me plus hard. Dang. Mine's 13. Okay. Yeah, you turn around and you feel your fist connect with someone's jaw. You see them go kind of stumbling over and crying out, holding their face, and you look up and you see looking at you, Prosperity.
Oh, if I knew it was you, it'd be more than the fist. And she's gonna say that, taking out her gun and just pointing it, her sidearm, and just pointing it right at Prosperity.
Okay, so you take out your gun pointed at her, and she just kind of looks at you, and that just smile that you hate so much sort of crosses her face as you stand there in a standoff with her, Sedona. You are out in the hallway still.
I'm gonna look behind me, point at the zombies, and say, "Get that bitch," and I don't mean live.
Okay, go ahead and roll me plus hard to go have them go aggro.
Success.
Here's this. All right, that is a 10 with a -1, no less. Excellent. So yeah, you give out your command and you send them sort of all scrambling into the room. Liv, as you're pointing your gun at Prosperity, you see these 4 creatures that are left come just scrambling in, running, sort of growling, snarling, and just making their way toward Prosperity and just taking her to the floor. You hear some gunshots go off as she sort of fights against them. She nails 2 of them with her rifle in the chest as they start to tear at her. You can see her sort of scrambling to right herself.
Liv's gonna take a shot at her.
Okay.
Probably shoot
yeah,
her in the
roll
knee.
me. Ooh, yeah, roll me plus hard. Okay. You take aim and fire sort of into her leg, and as she is sort of grappling with these 2 creatures, you can see her sort of starting to push them off of her. She is, for her frame and her general attitude, pretty strong, and she is sort of starting to kind of push them off of her and fight back, but you hear her cry out as you shoot into her leg, rendering that probably useless for the foreseeable future if she lives. We will get back to that in a second. Moriai and Mercury inside this bubble of energy with this young woman. Mercury, you have her by the throat and she's got this sort of blood kind of running down. What do you do?
I want to know who you are. And I'm using crit for a deep brain scan.
Okay. Let's see.
Let me play your game with you.
Okay, so we'll treat that as if you've rolled a 12, so you will hold 3. And as you sort of dive into her mind, you can ask 3 questions.
What makes their mind and soul vulnerable? Show me what you don't show anyone else.
You reach out into her mind, sort of diving in, and you find some memories. Her memories don't go back very far. There is no childhood. There is no sort of growing up. She looks like she's about 18, and it looks like she doesn't have any memories in here going back past the last couple of years. You look through, and most of what you see is prosperity. Memories of prosperity sort of coming into this room where you stand now, checking on her, bringing her things, bringing her clothes, and generally sort of doting on her. But what you feel from her in those memories, from this young woman in those memories, is not any sort of love or caring. There is towards prosperity a sort of there is a frustration, and there is just this sort of like burning feeling of not wanting to be a part of this, not wanting to be doted on, feeling infantilized. It's not positive.
And as I'm forcing my way through her memory, I will open my own memory to her. That of how we arrived in the hold. Very suspicious of everyone. Very careful. Taking the shack up at the outskirts with the plan of moving on in just another week or two. Being surprised at how Liv immediately treated us as one of the family, not believing it for so long. Always waiting for someone to take advantage, for someone to use us. My second question.
Mhm.
I want to know, what does she want? It's the, what does the character crave forgiveness for? But if you allow me to reflavor that, is what does she want? What are
Sure.
her deepest dreams, desires?
Sure, absolutely. You sort of dive in, sort of hanging on to these feelings of hers, this hatred, this frustration for and with prosperity, and you sort of dive deeper into those, and you find some memories that she has of dreams that she's had. She has these sort of memories that are disconnected from the rest of them, dreams of leaving the Pinnacle. Just even a dream that she has had once where she is sort of walking through the doors of the hotel, the front doors of the hotel, out the gate, and out into the waste to just stand there barefoot in the sand, in the dust, in the sun. Just stand there.
And I will show her a mix of various memories of travel. Going through the waste, poking the lizard in the morning, running through that military center, finding all sorts of weapons, exploding the grenades in the backyard just because it's fun. Climbing mountains, mountain ranges, swimming in lakes that are somewhat clean for this area anyway. Running around with Jeremy playing fetch with Silver's head. And the last question the secret pains, in the sense that what is really holding her back from doing that, from following her dreams? Is it prosperity? Is it an illness? Why is she tied to this place?
You dive further into these feelings of hers, and again you are met with a lot of memories and a lot of flashes of prosperity, her face smiling, doing things for this woman, and just this overwhelming sense of anger and hatred. She hates her so much. You also get these sort of flashes of this different equipment that she is sort of hooked up to, or moments of her actually up and about, sort of working on it, sort of building these things, and prosperity sort of coming in, bringing her resources and sending in people with parts and pieces and things like that.
But I don't get the sense that it's that she can't leave, that she's tied to machines. Out of life support sort of situation.
No, not that extreme, but you get the impression from these memories that these are sort of amplifying what she can do.
And I open not one of my memories, but a thought. I show her not my hand around her throat the way we stand right now, but switching positions with Prosperity and her hand around Prosperity's throat. And then just return to normal. And step back from her. I won the game. But I can teach you how to play it better.
Her eyes narrow for a moment, and she looks at you, not in suspicion, more in confusion. She looks at you for a moment and kind of looks up at Moriai, and then you see this this energy sort of bubble that had been around all of you start to flicker and fade. And she speaks. You're like me.
Yeah.
A lot like me. Can I go home with you?
That would be good. That would be nice. Can I keep her?
She smiles. As Mercury calls out to Liv from the other room, you hear gunshots and snarling and probably some yelling as a large scuffle with the bubble now gone. You all can hear what is going on in the other room. Liv, you have fired a bullet into Prosperity's leg, just as she has sort of pulled from her belt a knife and has driven it up into one of these creatures. It's sort of falling over and rolling across. One left sort of scrambling at her and kind of tearing her. You can see she has these long sort of gashes across her, and she is starting to try to get up and grab her gun.
Alright, this has been cute, and Liv will go over and pick up her gun, if that's possible. I don't know how far it's flung from her.
Let's have you roll to do something under fire.
Wow,
So you get some first.
okay. Oh my god.
You're on fire. You're literally on fire right now.
My goodness.
Yeah, you say this and you see her sort of scrambling for the gun, but you just beat her there, sort of taking the rifle that she had before and holding on to it, as she takes this knife, sort of fighting with this creature, and just drives it right into the side of its head with a force that you've only ever seen Moriai accomplish, and it sort of tumbles off of her. She pulls the knife out and looks up at you from the ground, holding onto her leg.
The gun's pointed at her. And, you don't actually think I'm gonna let you live after all the bullshit that you've done to me and my friends.
She laughs and then kind of winces and then holds her knee as blood is sort of pouring out onto the ground. She just looks up at you. No, I always knew it was going to be you or me.
You're not as dumb as you look right now.
Not nearly as dumb as you.
How do you mean? What was your end game here?
My end game? You came into my house.
So, everybody else you've dealt with has just bent a knee to you, said, yeah, sure, take all our shit. You know what? We'll even suck in your tits a little bit, It said it'd make you feel great.
Does all the cussing and the vulgar, imagery just make you feel more powerful?
No, I think it's a compulsion thing. I don't really know why.
To answer your question, yes. People do what I say. Except for you. Too bad. I think we really could have had something.
Yeah, I don't like being stepped on. Not my thing. I'm the boot. You're the ant. Always
Hey,
gonna be
everybody
that way.
thinks they're a little different, okay?
What? No
If you're gonna
last.
shoot me.
No last plea for your life. No. Oh, some ominous. You could have seen this. Oh, the future. Oh, this, that, whatever your prophet promised you. Nothing like that.
I think we're sort of past me trying to convince you of anything. See you on the other side.
Doubtful. She'll shoot her.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to roll. This will be suckering someone to you. Shoot her. Right between the eyes. And she falls back onto the floor. Gone.
Ow, ooh, ow, ow, ooh, ooh. Forgot the bullet was there. Oh, yeah. Ooh, where's the doctor? And just,
Sedona, who's Sedona's been watching this without she watched the headshot without being shot. Her Liv shooting Prosperity, if I can say words, without flinching. She watches and she looks at Liv. Let me help you down to the dock. But what happened with the other two?
Yeah, what'd they find? They, hopefully the prophet.
Hope so. Sedona's gonna go and peek around the corner. Y'all all right in here?
Moriai and Mercury. What are you doing?
I'm quickly looking at Moriai to see if he's okay of sorts or if he's about to keel over.
Oh, he looks more messed up than you've ever seen him. Like brink of, but he's just standing there like he always does, you know, like just because of his Rasputin ability, he just kind of can keep us dead, basically.
I need to get you to Dr. Dwight. And I look back at the girl. Is she still in the seat, or did she get up? Wasn't sure if that was.
She's stood. Yeah, she was sitting on the floor, but she is sort of stood up and is just kind of watching the two of you intently.
Do you have a name?
Aurora.
Jessica mentioned you. Hi, Aurora. I'm Mercury. So I'm going to trust her to not stab me in the back and head over to Moriai to try and provide more moral support than actual physical support. It will look like she's trying to help him a little bit, but she's tiny and a waif, so I don't think that will actually be much help other than just, you know, mental. Try and head over to live in Sedona.
Okay, so Sedona, you sort of peek around, and you see Moriai looking bad, sort of coming out of the room with Mercury, and the four of you meet in sort of the center of the hallway. Liv also looking like a big disaster. There's blood everywhere, and then behind the two of them, you can sort of see over Mercury, because she's just a little bit taller than you. This just girl with this long sort of white hair, linen shirt and pants, no shoes, blood sort of caking one side. She does not seem to be concerned about it. And she looks about 18, 19, just kind of following them out.
Who's the kid?
So before you shoot anyone, or try to, that's Aurora.
Hello.
And, well, she wasn't very nice to us, until now, but you'll be nice to us now, right, Aurora?
I'm sorry about the games.
See?
If it makes you feel better, your large friend stabbed me.
He did.
So we're even?
Hold the phone. Mercury, you can't be suggesting that they come back to the assembly line.
I mean, I can. I was gonna. I will. Please.
After all
Did you kill her?
the shit.
She killed her.
Yeah, I put a bullet in her dumb fucking face, but like, was she making you
I wish
do
I had
all of it?
seen
Like,
it.
please throw me a bone here. Please tell me you were under duress.
I wish I'd seen you shoot her.
What'd she do to you?
Rapunzel. Sleeping Beauty.
I wasn't allowed to
She
leave.
kidnapped you?
No. I don't know how I got here. Just was. But I'm bored. And I don't like being treated like a child.
Can I read a person here?
Sure. Hit me with that sharp roll.
Yeah, there it is.
And all the
I
luck's
do have
gone
one
out.
crit just to let you know, but yeah.
Oh, do I? Oh, that's right. I hid my camera in front of my other camera. I'm so confused. Yeah, I'd like to use the crit,
To
please.
Dev.
Do you want to use your crit? Okay. Yeah, big shot. You roll a not a
I
5,
always
but a
use them
12.
same session. Let's go.
I love it. Just incentivizes people to give you more. All right. 3 questions.
Hell yeah. Okay. What is what is this character intending to do?
Mercury promised her she could come home with you. So that's what she's gonna do.
Great.
Seems very happy about it.
How do I get this character to not fuck up my entire life? There's a blank there, so I took some liberties.
Yeah, I love it. How can I get your character to not fuck up my entire life? Well, you cannot play tabletop games, Rob.
Great, cool.
You,
But
yeah. You sort of look at her and you hear her say these things about prosperity and sort of how she seemed to not be a fan of her and how she sort of treated her like a child and stuck her somehow in this room in this hotel and kept her here. So if you don't do those things, she'll probably like you very much.
Okay. I'm gonna hold the last one.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold the last one.
Okay. So she kind of looks at you, caked in blood, unconcerned. Just kind of like smiling softly. Can I come?
All right, well. Sure. Yeah. We can protect you. She made you do all this?
Yeah.
So this whole
We just
profit
need-
thing was her idea?
Well. No. Well. Yes. I can do things.
We just need
But
to
the
teach
message
her
was
better
hers.
games.
She told me you were bad people. I thought I would give her the benefit of the doubt.
Spending my hold is the character telling the truth
About what specifically?
about Prosperity made her do it, and she didn't. She was only doing it because bad people.
It's true. Technically.
Savannah.
It might not be the whole truth.
Okay. I mean, if the whole truth is she also thinks it's fun to, like, screw with people, I mean, that's just Mercury. So, you know.
That could be part of it.
Okay.
When she says that the message was prosperities, she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
That part is true.
Okay. All right. Well, we gotta. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's just go home.
As we're walking away, Moriai remembers a book or a movie or something from when he was little, and it catches him that her name is Aurora, and he just Aurora, Sleeping Beauty, and he just kind of is all happy to himself. about that.
Okay. So, somebody
I
gonna
was
say
just gonna
something?
ask whatever. I was gonna ask whatever happened to was it Sapphire?
Sapphire's hiding in the elevator.
Oh, okay.
It's not something Sapphire agreed to be a part of. It was very scary. I'll say Sapphire is okay though. Yeah, you head back to the elevator, find Sapphire sort of hiding there, with Aurora in tow. You head back down and to home. That is where we're gonna leave it for today. Mission success. I want to know, before we do the end of session move, I do want to know where everyone's at on the harm clock, because I was not looking at your sheets. I think Sedona is fine, right? Sedona's fine.
11.
Totally fine.
11.
11 out of 12. Yeah.
Fuck. 9 for me.
So for 9, okay, Liv.
A 10. I also have a question.
Okay.
Since we were trying to kill the prophet and didn't kill the prophet, would you say I didn't accomplish my ends for my insight move and I can mark experience?
Is it? Don't accomplish.
I mean,
your
it killed
ends.
prosperity, so you could say no.
No, I mean that sort of was your end goal.
We promised
to get rid of
Sapphire
this
we were
prophet,
gonna kill,
and-
yeah, and then
And you did do literally the opposite of that.
So I get
yeah,
all
yeah.
the experience. Thanks.
You're level 20 now. So for those of you at home, if you're not familiar with how harm works, which is the damage tracker in Apocalypse World, it's a clock, and you fill up segments of the clock, and if you get to 12 o'clock, you're dead. So we've got a 9, a 10, and an 11. Sedona looked fine. Sedona
Great.
looks better coming out than she did going into the hotel. So we're looking bad. I did almost kill some of you.
Herp.
Okay, well, I'll grapple with that while we do the history move for the end of the session. So let us do this. At the end of the session, choose a character who knows you better than they used to. If there's more than one, choose one on your whim, and tell us why. If nobody knows you better, you can choose somebody who doesn't know you as well as they thought, or you can just pick someone. Does anybody have strong feelings? Anybody want to go first?
I think it's definitely Sedona for me. I think that we had a little heart to heart at the beginning of the session.
You definitely did. All right, so Sedona, you can add +1 to your history with Liv.
I always
Where does
forget
that
which
put you?
way.
Was it?
Where does
Sedona
that put your
adds it.
history
I
with her?
don't.
3.
Oh, nice. Okay. One more, and you'll roll over. Yeah. So when you're choosing the person that you choose, they mark it. All right. So that's Liv. Well, it's Sedona. Who knows you better?
I'm gonna say
or
Liv.
worse?
I'm gonna say Liv. Yeah, I think seeing her use her ability was like, what? I didn't even know you could do that. I thought you were useless.
Literally thought you were making
Okay.
it all up, and then that happened.
So yeah, Liv will add +1 to your history with Sedona, which I think rolls you over.
No, I'm only at 3. It's 4, right?
You're only at 3. Okay. Yeah, it's 4.
Oh yeah, I just changed
pulling up
it.
the sheet
Sorry,
to
I
look.
wasn't sure if you... Yeah.
I couldn't remember what it was. I looked at it at the beginning and then obviously immediately forgot because it's numbers. You guys know I don't do those. Moriai.
Knows me better. I don't know. Moria is just such a simpleton. Yeah, I guess it'd have to be Mercury because the two brainers exchanging battle there, and also the Mercury leaping from the elevator was just amazeballs. I love that. So let's just go that route.
Okay, so Mercury will add +1 with Moriai. And, yeah, Mercury, who knows you better?
I would say Moria as well, as he was present when she had that intense moment with Aurora.
That makes total sense. All right, so Moriai, you will add +1 to your history with Mercury. All right, so yeah, we're getting close to some of you all rolling over. All right, well, that is it for us today, my friends. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us, especially for the subs and the surges and the crits and all those things, and your wonderful comments in the chat as well. I love them so much. It's so fun to have you all here and engaging with us. If you got any great clips from the show today, if you're live with us, make sure you post them in the Encounter Roleplay Discord so we can put them into the hat for Clip of the Week. As well as if you're with us on YouTube later on, we're glad you're here. Hit that subscribe button while you're here. You know where it is. And leave us a fun comment on this video. We'll put that one in the hat for Comment of the Week. Anything you thought was particularly fun or interesting or funny or all the above. Thanks for hanging out with us. YouTube, already told you to subscribe. Gonna tell you again. Subscribe. You've been here for like 3 hours. What are you doing? Hit the button. You're gonna come back. You can subscribe there as well as join the Discord, where we talk about all of these games and we post clips and all kinds of fun stuff. And Encounter Roleplay also has a Patreon that you can join. So I lost all of my notes. As you can see by our little late on the ending time, there is no new episode of Eclipse this week after us, but you can come back tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern Time for a new episode of Wild and Chaotic and see what the crew gets up to this week. So 9 o'clock, it's gonna be awesome. Come back. I'm sure there's some things I forgot, and I'll let Lydia tell you about them because I'm positive she remembers. But let us go around real quick, say our goodbyes, tell everybody who you are, where they can find you when you are not here. You know who I am. I'm the one that's been talking nonstop for the last 3 hours. I'm Savvy, at Savvy Seaworth on Twitter. When I'm not here, I'm on twitch.tv/game nights. That's game with 2 G's and nights with a K. I'll be there tonight before Wild and Chaotic. I'm at 8 o'clock playing The Sprawl in a show called Neon Souls, and GB will be there too. It's cyberpunk and it's really fun, so come hang out with us. And everything else I do is pinned to my Twitter because there's just so much of it. Yeah, we'll go Rob and up to Marlo and go around, and I'll let Lydia finish us out.
So if we're going counterclockwise, that means my harm rolls backwards, right? That seems right. Yeah, we're all healed now. Hi, I'm Rob, or bonus stage Rob, or bonus_stage_Rob. You can find me on the internet being slightly less annoying and boisterous characters in various TTRPG shows, like Monster of the Week, Slaying 101, a Monster of the Week show on twitch.tv/game nights, Savvy's channel. That's at 4 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. Super duper fun. And Thursday, oh my god, it's our finale of Diefall Alderheart, our Humblewood 5e setting game. We are about to finish that Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/runawayrobot_. I'm all kinds of emotional. I was crying in the club at 3 a.m. England time because I'm in England now. That also happened. And yeah, because of that, I don't know when I'll be streaming at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob, but I will be. So I'll tweet it. I tweet everything. That's me.
I am Marlo. You can find me on Twitter at Marlo Bogwitch, spelled as it is above. I have a pinned tweet there, but the highlights are I am on a Wednesday night game of Cult Divinity Lost over on Transient Presents on D Live, of all places. I know, D Live. Wow, you're playing a TTRPG on D Live? Yes, we are. And it is exciting, and it is a good game. And then I've got every other Thursday, I think it'll be next Thursday, playing Spell over on Otherdocs channel, Spell RPG, for a game that is set in the Salem witch trial era. So check that out. Obviously, you know, I'm here, but on every other Saturday, I'm over on Featherfall playing Gateway Wars 5e campaign. And I'm also the editor and player on Sins of the Father, a 5e podcast about kids looking for their missing fathers. That's a mouthful. Thanks for having me. Thanks for running a great game, Sabby. And you guys all rock, so yeah.
Graybeard Tavern, and you can find me next on the Sprawl, as has been mentioned, over on G Game Nights. And then Sunday morning, I'm on my own channel, Graybeard Tavern on Twitch, playing Deep Sky Derelicts, where I get to play with all my toys, and we have a good time on that. Pop in there. Then back on G Game Nights for Monster of the Week, as has been mentioned. And then I do nothing until Thursday, where I'm over on Indoor Adventures channel playing my bugbear Hugurk, and he's all kinds of fun too. So check me out.
And I'm Lydia, I'm Half-Hour's Hermit, and I am now supposed to say all the things that Savvy forgot to say. Yeah, I'm with Encounter Roleplay here, where you can find me on the Discord in basically all day, every day, and you should definitely join if you want to see more of these fabulous people and meet more new fabulous people. This is also where you can post your clip of the week application, if you will. Your clips and your comments on YouTube will also be appreciated and of course shared there. This is where we have casting calls. This is where we share lots of fun information centering RPGs, Kickstarters as well, which we're going to support over the next few weeks with one-shots. Lots and lots of RPG Kickstarters are being started or are coming towards an end, and of course, it's always nice to try new systems. It's always good to see what else is out there. We had Arium on just yesterday, which once it's on YouTube, check it out. It is fucking fabulous. It's basically a world-building game. The world building in itself is done with a group. And they thought they would also be able to play, but the world building itself took 3 hours and had a lot of pig jokes. And it was something else, but it was very entertaining. And we have a couple more coming in the next few weeks. I'll be on a one-shot on Cobalt Press on Tuesday, which is going to be GM'd by Colonomicon, a little dungeon crawl, because Cobalt Press is putting out a dungeon crawl supplement. Before that, on Monday, you can see me and Savvy here as well on Lessons in Deep Magic, which is delving into all kind of chaos magic. That is the Deep Magic supplement, and it's very emotional. I think that's safe to say. It got really super fucking hard in the first 3-4 episodes already, and we have another 10 to go, 12 to go. So do join us for that. You can find all the information on my Twitter, Half-Hour's Hermit. I'll be guesting on Crownlands again on Monday, and just all over the place. Usually everything that has Encounter Roleplay on it, I'm there somewhere. So stop by and come join us again next week for more Diesel Punks, for the big finale, isn't it? Ooh.
Is it?
Ooh, we're getting there.
Do we have one or two?
Is it 1 or 2 weeks left?
I'll have to look. I
Oh
think
God, what
it's
is-
two.
I think it's 2
It's
weeks.
2 still.
Right? 'Cause
Okay,
this
yeah,
was
It's two.
The fifth
18,
one.
25, 5th. Yeah, I heard penultimate saying someone penultimate earlier, so I was confused there. That's on me.
Oh no.
25th is a big finale. Penultimate on the 18th. We'll be here, and hopefully so will you. No eclipse after us, so you get a little bit of a break. We're going to raid someone in a second, and then afterwards at 9 p.m. EST, you can join our pirates, our wild and chaotic crew. I'll show you the trailer for that as we head out, as we start the raid. See you later. Thanks for watching.